So this British dude made a drunk bet one night that he couldn't walk from the tip of South America all the way home to England. But although he really didn't have to do it, he's actually still walking today 27 years later. You see, back in 1998, Carl Bushby's friends just told him very reasonably that he couldn't walk from the furthest point away from England all the way back home. But since they were all drinking and in their 20s, Carl took it as a challenge. Since he had been a paratrooper in the British Army and lost several friends in combat, he knew that life was too short to miss out on cool experiences. So the very next day, Carl just started researching what it would take to actually complete this walk. And despite only having $500 to his name, he just took off and never looked back. To prove all his friends wrong, he had two main rules: no transportation, and whenever he paused his journey, he always had to go back to exactly where he stopped to continue again. Now at first, he just mainly relied on the kindness of others to give him food and places to sleep. But as news of Carl's story eventually spread, companies actually began reaching out offering to sponsor him. It ended up being a terrifying journey at times, having to walk through a literal war zone in the Darien Gap, and also becoming the first Brit to ever traverse the polar bear infested Bering Strait. At one point, Carl even got banned from walking through Russia, so he simply just swam through the entire Caspian Sea over 31 days. But despite experiencing the '08 financial crisis where sponsors all left him, COVID, and even 57 days in a Russian prison for crossing the wrong border, Carl never gave up. After 27 years of walking from age 29 to 56, he's finally close to making it home and is estimated to arrive this September. And in his own words, it's been a remarkable journey. 99.99% of the people I've met have been the best. The world is a much kinder place than it often seems.
So, I have insomnia that's pretty, like I slept really, really well the last 3 nights, and I won't get into more things. So it's getting better, it's like I feel like strangers are dicks. But only if they're legally, professionally, or socially obligated to help you. If they're not, I found that they're decent at either feigning or producing understanding. Making a reaction video to this because I am the first. So I've been through something that I don't think people can really understand at all. I think that people are just beginning to gain the capacity to understand what I've been through. And what I've been through is basically not sleeping my entire life. Like, I'm going to say that to you as someone who doesn't have agorapenia exciata, who has not developed total insomnia, who has not had the symptoms they describe as fatal insomnia. When you say I didn't sleep, you're referring to the experience that I have when I say I slept fairly well. People are morons, and they'll say they didn't sleep when they did, and they use incredibly imprecise language around sleep, which I've realized the hard way makes them incapable of understanding someone who's actually lost the ability to sleep. Like it can't land. There's nothing I can say to them that will make them understand that I lost the ability to sleep. I think part of this is the fact that their worldview precludes something so horrible from existing. Like, they imagine implicitly that anyone experiencing what I've been through, and this is at such a precognitive level, that they can't, like, it'd be like if I said, and then my head got chopped off and everything exploded, you'd be like, well, obviously it didn't happen, you're still here. Well, like, that is actually outside my ability to understand. If someone's like, they chopped my head off and I exploded and they're still there, I just assume that didn't happen. It's like they can't really convince me it did, because my worldview precludes the possibility that someone could blow up and then be here. That is how everyone feels about insomnia, whether they realize it or not. The total loss of the ability to sleep. They preclude that from their worldview. They dismiss without cognition the idea that could even be possible. probably the same way that this man's friends dismissed the idea that he could walk back to Britain. So maybe some more people doing the impossible will open the eyes of the stones in front of me.